And welcome back everyone to our winners match here for Group N of the FX Open Invitational Series. I am Unstable, joined here by Railcoon. As we jump into it, we are going to have Liquid'HerO up against IMFirst. Daybreak will be the map. PvP coming up. I haven't seen a PvP in a little bit of time. So let's jump straight into it. We have, of course, down here at the bottom position, as our red Protoss, it is going to be IMFirst. And then up here at the top right, as our blue Protoss, is going to be Liquid'HerO. So Hero coming through his first set pretty convincingly, like just looked downright easy for him. Whereas First had a little bit of a tougher time, but his style also tends towards the late game, and he made a big mistake in game 1-1. So either way, let's see how these guys do in the PvP scenario. What do you think we're going to see here, Railkin?
Well, First was saving up a lot of energy, so it looked like he was possibly thinking about a 4-gate, and then he actually Chrono Boost out the Stalker instead of his Warp Gate. So he could be going for something a little bit different. He's chasing around this probe, trying to kill it, but he hasn't really been able to do so, even though he's been putting a lot of effort into it. Hero is on the 2 gateways with no second gas, so it looks like he's just going to be playing defensive, probably get a sentry out here, because that build did look suspiciously like a 4-gate when he was in there with his probe.
Yeah, that's very true. But either way, we do see the extra double Stalker coming out here from Hero. So he's going to have that Zealot and 3 Stalkers out on the map to try and hunt down anything. Looks like he's going to find this probe over here on the down at the bottom left for First, though. And remember, he's only got 3 gateways. Oh, look at that. Hero have just barely... First just barely moves his probe away. He was going to get spattered there for a second. And... wow, that was actually quite lucky.
Yeah, the 3 gateways, nothing to scoff at. We've been seeing more and more of the 3-gate attack, just because if you do it well, it comes before the 4-gate. And a lot of people have been figuring out the 4-gate timings, so there's been more and more people trying just to do the 3-gate to catch people off guard. They are finished. Warp Gate Tech's about to finish here in a second. The proxy pylon is on the way, but he hasn't really managed to get one very close to Hero yet. And Hero does have a 3rd gateway that's going to finish up here soon with a good number of units. And he's actually applying pressure to First right now. So he's actually chasing First back up his ramp. First is possibly going to have to warp in at home to stop this, and that's really going to hurt.
Well, the second Zealot for Hero here needs to get up further close. He needs to be careful here, though. The 3rd Stalker for First actually ran back quite a bit, and now Hero's seen what's going on. He's seen that he has to back off. He might want to cancel that pylon. No, there it goes. I was getting worried there for a second. At the same time, we do have 2 forward pylons over here for First on the right-hand side. The probe is in the main. We do see 1, 2, 3 gateways, of course, in total. Looking at the army supplies, 10 to 12. But those 4 Stalkers for First are on the left-hand side. He might actually warp in a couple of Stalkers up here, and he's going to get 1 Stalker and 2 sentries.
Hero Stalkers could get trapped here as they're trying to come back, but he's actually hitting these sentries with his own Stalkers. There's only 1 Stalker to defend the sentries. They're going to get really low, and it looks like they're both going to die.
Yeah, it is, but he's also trapped his 1 Stalker there. First being a little bit hesitant coming forward. There is still 2 sentries on the high ground, so we are going to see Hero be fine against this, because we can force field all day long. But oh, he's actually going to catch 2 of them at the top of the ramp. That is not something that First really wanted to do right there. He's going to lose 2 Stalkers for nothing. Does get 1 of the Stalkers very low health, but he's actually expanded behind this. So it looks like he wants to put up some kind of contain going on here, as we do see 1 probe pop down. But needs to be careful, as at any point he can just pop down with that Immortal and just crush through this army.
Yeah, that's going to be the hard part, is that the Immortal's on the way, and once there's 1 or 2 of these, if First gets caught off guard, his army's just going to get demolished, and then he's not going to be able to hold this Nexus. So he has to be very alert with his sentries, throwing down that force field immediately if Hero starts trying to come down that ramp. He does have his own robotics facility on the way as well, so if he can get that up and get a couple Immortals out, he'll be fine. Especially since that Nexus is on the way. He just cannot get caught off guard by Hero here.
Well, Warp Prism's definitely going to catch him off guard if that's exactly what's going to happen. Looks like we might see an Immortal and a 2 Stalker drop. Or he might keep the Warp Prism in his base a little bit longer, get that second Immortal out. But either way, he's going to have some kind of way to bust out here. We do see the 2 sentries can force field that for a very long time. But we've also seen that tier showcased in GSTL. Grab a bunch of units from the left, warp in down on the low ground out of range, and then try and come in and actually catch this entire army in here. And that looks like it's exactly what Hero is going to do. He's going to jump back up here, pick up a few more units, come in, and then he's just completely crushed through this army. And look at that, we see the force field going down. Oh! He's actually going to get caught right as he's going through. The Immortal's going to catch him as well. We don't have any kind of force fields to stop him going through, as best he did, but that was really lucky by First moving back at that exact time. That was like really lucky.
That's the point where a lot of people would leave anyway, just because they don't want to get caught. So it's just very intelligent game sense from First, realizing that if he sticks here much longer, he's going to be in the danger zone of just pushing things a little bit too far. His Nexus is up and it's mining. So at that point, he got what that force was supposed to do. He had accomplished his goal. So staying there any longer was just taking an unnecessary risk. And he does just pull back to be safe. His observer is going to go down in the middle of the map, and that's going to be a decent blow. He's not going to have that vision. But he has an Immortal out now as well. He's got some Stalkers making sure that his Warp Prism doesn't catch him off guard. First is in a really good spot because his expansion finished first.
Well, not really, because we do actually have Blink finished up here, Elka, and that's going to be the big decider. We also see a couple of units coming into the high ground here. There's going to be a Mortal, a Sentry, and a Zealot. And that's going to be really frustrating. He's going to be caught by these 4 Stalkers at the front, though, and that Immortal will be able to be crushing through those. And he's actually going to warp in some more units as the Immortal from the left-hand side comes in as well. We've got Zealots coming, and we do see it looks like Hero is actually going to back up, maybe come in to the right-hand side, but he's going to have to get out of there as the warp in coming up. Didn't want to actually engage at the front, but he needs to be careful with his Warp Prism. He's going to drop it into the mineral line here by the looks of it, but he's also going home with the rest of his army because there's 2 Zealots that have just popped up into the main that was spotted because there's an extra pylon down here. We do see the Immortal dropping again.
It looked like Hero was going to just go home, and then he saw no units chasing the Warp Prism, so he just decided to kill a couple probes, which he was able to do.
Yeah.
First was in a good spot if he had managed to catch that Warp Prism, which he didn't manage to do. His Stalkers were watching for it, and Hero just came in from an unexpected angle. So that was a nice job by Hero, and now that's allowed him to get his own expansion up. The worker count is 37-30 in favor of First, so he does have the probe lead. The First does have actually 2 more Immortals now, but the Stalker count is very heavily in favor of Hero, and he does have that Blink. So for at this point in the game, that Blink micro is still a force to be reckoned with, and First has got to be really careful. He's going to be forced to be defensive because he knows the fact that his opponent has a lot of Blink Stalkers. Yeah,
that's very true. We do see, of course, First sees his Warp Prism heading back. He's going to pick that off and blink in right as that probe dies, so he can be aggressive if he wants to. Looking at the army side, so 57-43, but Hero does have Blink, remember, but he does not have the Colossi that are about to come out. There's a lot of Zealots in this army. It's going to be really frustrating for Hero to deal with. We got 4 more Zealots coming in to the natural here. There is a nice force field, actually. What? Okay, maybe not.
That one Zealot was just really skinny or something. He was kind of blocked and he just forced his way through. But yeah, the longer this goes, the better this is going to be for First, because he's got the Colossus on the way. He's got a good Immortal count. He has more supply. His Nexus was up first. I'm not sure why he's attacking right now, because he's in this position where it's just going to be better for him the longer it goes.
Well, it can turn around quite quickly in PvP a lot of the times, and if he knows he has an advantage, which he does, he can try and take advantage of it. We do not have Blink or Zealot charge for him, though, at all. And remember, he doesn't have to commit. He can just sit out the front here, force Puzzle to react. As we do see, Hero's got a... sorry, not Puzzle. Why did I say Puzzle?
I don't know, but this unit composition is designed to have the Colossus in it. If you look at it, it's got the 3 Immortals, it's got a lot of Zealots. This is the type of unit composition you get against somebody who goes for the really early Blink, so that if they try to Blink on top of the Colossus, everything's just going to die immediately. Which is why I'm a little bit surprised he was moving across the field, because it's like the very big piece of the puzzle for his army, the Colossus, wasn't there yet. Once he's got the second Colossus out and he's got range, his army is going to be extremely powerful against what Hero has, but he needs the Colossus out first. And the second one is going to be out in just a little bit. So once that finishes, probably expect to see him move across the field, make something happen.
Well, he still had to come out anyway to actually get map control and dictate the course of the game. Even if he's got that Colossus count, if you do let Hero be greedy, anything can happen. That's why he needs to move out and actually do something about it. He can't sit back on 2 bases, otherwise Puzzle is just Hero is just going to crush him for it. And at the same time, you do see Hero actually down here picking off a probe. He's going to come in with this Warp Prism yet again, and it looks like he's going to do the main, but there is 5 Stalkers here ready for it by First. At the same time, we got another group of Stalkers moving up to the north, and at the same time, First is going to try and take a 3rd base.
He's going to see it, but he's going to lose that Observer again. So he sees the Stalkers, but his Observer dies, and this is the point where Hero's got to be careful. This army for First is extremely scary. If he walks into this army and he's not expecting this could be really bad.
He still has the high the high army count. And with this unit composition, he will force Hero to actually back off. But there's a lot more Immortals being mixed into the unit composition here for Hero. But he's actually probably not the best idea. But he is getting Colossus out now as well. And once his Colossi count starts to even out, it will just absolutely shred through this Zealot army. He's going to pick off 1, 2, 3 Stalkers here down at the bottom and sees the Colossus count. There is another one over here on the left with a lot of Immortals though. And Hero's got his own Colossus coming out now as well. He's still trying to chase down these Stalkers, just doing a little run around. There is another Stalker here. Did he actually see the probe and the pylon there?
Yeah, he went to scout to see if there's a third base there. Saw no Nexus, but he saw the pylons, and he's aware of the fact that he's going to be dropping the third base soon.
And he also sees leg speed as well. So
yeah, he's actually bought a lot of time with just a few Stalkers there. Like, yeah, he lost maybe 4 Stalkers, but that has successfully bought a large amount of time. His own Colossus are on the way, and he has the double robotics. So buying time is really important because he's going to try and pull ahead in that Colossus count. It's now going to be 4-3 instead of 4-1. And if he can keep just delaying, he's actually going to get the advantage in the Colossus count. He has 1 more Immortal now over first as well. So if Hero can buy just a few more minutes, he's going to be in a really good spot. But First is now pushing across the army. It looks like he wants to force an engagement. And if he can actually force Hero to fight, this could work out really well for him before these next 2 Colossus pop out.
Well, it's not just the Colossus.
2 Colossus come out in time.
It's not the Colossus that he really needs to worry about right now. It's more the Archons that he's going to be morphing in, because then the Zealots will pretty much disappear. And that is the entirety of his army right now. It's mainly Zealots. We do see the Dark Shrine almost finishing up. We are going to have a good concave here. It's not going to happen though. We do see 1 blink back coming in here from Hero, but it just doesn't look like it's going to be enough. He doesn't have that splash damage at all at the moment. He's getting through a lot of these Zealots. We do see the reinforcements coming in from the left-hand side, and it looks like this army is just going to be too much for Hero. There's the GG. First, we'll take game number 1 in this set, and we'll be right back with game number 2. Stay with us.